Hey there, AMC fans. We are on location and coming to you live from an AMC theater. Today is like no other Thursday. This is Avengers Thursday, and what better way to start the show off than standing right next to this massive, gorgeous, amazing IMAX Avengers standee.
Years in the making, and we are about to experience Infinity War, and I know some Marvel fans watching are about to experience it as well. Some of you may already be in line getting ready to watch this movie at AMC theaters.
So with that, let's get the show started. This is your AMC Thursday ticket. Hi guys, we are coming to you from an IMAX auditorium, and thank you to the theater crew for letting us in advance of the general public so that we can spend some time talking to you about Avengers.
And it's crazy to think, Sergio, that in a half an hour or so, that this theater is going to be packed with Marvel fans just like us getting ready to see Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, the biggest movie easily of the year so far to date. So tell me, we've been on this journey, on this roller coaster ride for the last, 10 years now?
Yeah, I mean, since 2008.
2008, right?
Let's flash back to 2008.
Let's do it.
We are in the theater getting wowed by Ironman. The end credits start to roll, and Nick Fury shows up, and he tells Tony Stark, "You're a part of a bigger universe, you just don't know it yet." And he teases the Avengers Initiative.
So when I first heard that, my mind blew, like my head almost blew off my shoulders. It was just incredible, because feeling that there was going to be something more, something that connects this movie to the next one, and this, and that was. So where were you when you first heard that? Let us know what theater you saw Avengers at, and more importantly, what did you think was coming next? Did you expect any of this that we've experienced so far today to happen?
And I don't know if anyone did, because it was so revolutionary what Marvel Studios did, creating this shared cinematic universe that continues to grow. And Kevin Feige has really been the brainchild of this all.
He is the mastermind.
Connecting every little thing. And so we saw with Iron Man and then the original Avengers characters, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, but it's expanding even further with the cosmic universe, Guardians of the Galaxy.
And taking a chance with Guardians of the... Like, who really knew about Guardians of the Galaxy until they hit the big screen?
And Doctor Strange. And then bringing classic characters to this world as well. Black Panther.
Yeah, that was huge.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Ant-Man. Like, all of these characters. And Infinity War is really the culmination of everything that Marvel Studios has built. Bringing all of these characters together into one unbelievable film.
So earlier in the show, we started by standing in front of this big standee with all these characters. The 22, I counted them all. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 22. The 22 superheroes popping out. And the one thing I noticed about the standee was that there were no villains. The Mad Titan wasn't on there.
Well, to be honest, Sergio, I don't think that the standee could have gotten any bigger.
Yeah, you're probably
right. You got
right.
all of those heroes. I don't think that they could fit anyone else into it.
So on last week's show, you had mentioned that you were going to go and fly out to L.A. and interview the cast about the movie and this and that, the villains and stuff. Tell me about your interview.
So the movie was, the cast is so big that they split, the groups up. So I spoke with some of the cast of Infinity War, and I had the opportunity. Thank you for everyone for sending in your questions on last week's show. I did get to ask some of your questions, and we're going to show those interviews a little bit later in the show, so stay tuned. But it is incredible talking to this unbelievable cast about this movie and about this coming together to fight the Mad Titan Thanos. And that was actually the first question that I had to ask.
Okay.
We have seen all of these villains throughout 10 years of Marvel Studios, but none is like Thanos. It is an unprecedented threat, and this is what the cast had to say about the villain in Infinity War.
If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
He's very intense, and I think very unique amongst the canon of Marvel villains. He's got genius-level intelligence, he's nearly invincible, and he's strong-willed, and he's got a very specific goal in mind, so it's going to cost the heroes a lot to try and stop him.
Take all of those guys, times them by 100, and put them in the one guy, and that won't even be close to beating Thanos.
Thanos, there is no doubt that he's probably the singular baddest villain that we've ever seen on screen, or at least in any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. But villains usually roll with henchmen, and there is no doubt that, although we haven't seen very much of them, that the Black Order is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this universe.
Yeah, and you're right that Thanos is the biggest and baddest Marvel villain that we've seen. I mean, they've been teasing him since the very first Avengers, and this is finally our first chance to see him. And he also has the Black Order, which, like you said, we haven't seen a lot of. He has been front and center. Thanos has been front and center in all of the promotional material, so it'll be interesting to see how his henchmen, the Black Order, fit into the mix, causing havoc, wrecking havoc for the Avengers.
Yeah, so we're not ones to sit here and speculate on what's going to happen in movies and just come up with our theories, but I can't help but feel that some major things are going to go down, right? So we have the Russo brothers, write a letter to their fans asking them not to spoil the movie for anyone. You had Disney move the release date from early May to late April so that we'd go day and date with its international release so that no spoilers would be lost. Jordan, I can't help but feel that we're probably going to lose some major characters in this movie. One for sure, probably. Maybe two. Who knows?
Yeah, with everyone so fearful of spoilers, you know that some serious stuff's going to go down. And I think that you're right. I think one of our beloved characters are going to die in this movie. And I don't want to think about it because it's just going to make me sad.
But you know what? Let's reset, right? So we're not here to mope and groan about things. We are here to talk about our excitement about the movie. And we had an awesome opportunity not only to interview the cast, but I heard you were part of the crew that was on the red carpet for the premiere. What was that all about?
So we sat down with the cast, and we also attended the world premiere. And when you have a movie as big as an Infinity War, the world premiere has to be just as big, and it was truly a spectacle. If you haven't seen our live stream, it's on our social channels, so go back and watch that and truly see how big of an event the Infinity War world premiere was.
So with that, I think we should kick it over to some videos of some of the questions that you have asked.
Yeah, so like we mentioned earlier, we asked your questions. We asked the cast of Infinity War your questions. Let's go see how they answered them.
Or RDJ.
Okay.
He's got a lot of facilities, but he's really loyal as well.
Dan,
he's prepped for the end of time. It's like you'd feel very looked after under his wing.
I feel like both of us would panic in a crisis.
True
I'm not good in a crisis. I really panic.
Yeah, it'd be just that and nothing.
Bubbly youthfulness, I think, is how I would describe that.
Yeah.
For me?
That's fair. Funny.
Clever.
That's very sweet.
Definitely very
but
clever.
I think I look odd, so I get to play clever people. So no offense to clever people, but I'm not one of them really. It's just pretend. It's all smoke and mirrors.
A very good question. I don't know. I suppose we both have the same smile. Deeply untrustworthy. Trust me at your peril.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
Once again, thank you guys for submitting your questions. It was such a fun opportunity to talk to the cast of Infinity War and ask what you guys wanted to know. And we're going to be doing more of this. We're going to be talking to the people involved of the biggest blockbusters. So stay tuned to every AMC Thursday ticket because who knows, your question might be asked to some of Hollywood's biggest stars.
And we're sitting here in an IMAX auditorium. We mentioned it earlier. We're saying it again because this is one of the biggest, baddest ways to experience Avenger Infinity War. And we had an opportunity to sit down with the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige, along with our friends at IMAX, to hear them talk about why it is that we need to experience this movie in this format. Let's check it out.
We knew we wanted to go big. The storyline of Infinity War is big. The cast roster and character roster of Infinity War is big. The visual effects, the worlds we visit are big. The movie had to seem big. And Joe and Anth said, let's shoot in IMAX.
You know, IMAX is a perfect aspect ratio for scale and for vertical scale. If you're in a traditional theater, it's going to be narrower. If you're in an IMAX theater, it's going to be expanded. There's more information in the frame. There's more storytelling to look at. You see more of the characters, you see more of their powers, you see more of the scale of the film.
When the cameras first start rolling, we think about one thing. We think about the audience that is anticipating the experience, that will be buying their tickets early, waiting online if they have to, reserving their seats, sitting in that theater, waiting for the lights to go down. And we just think about one thing and one thing only, delivering on that promise, delivering on that experience. And the best way to experience that is to see the entire film. And that's the IMAX frame, and allows you to be in that world. Because that's what we want. That's what we want the audience to experience, is to be on that journey with us, with the characters, in as full and rich and immersive a way as possible. And that's what IMAX does.
It just made sense to us that, you know, the grandest cinematic events in Marvel history should be executed in full IMAX.
So Sergio, not only is Infinity War going to be one of the biggest movies of the year, it could possibly be one of the biggest movies of all time. And so much so that the Russo brothers did something big for the movie. They shared that this is the first movie to be shot entirely with IMAX cameras. And that's really monumental. It's groundbreaking.
Yeah, I think that's the key word, is groundbreaking. We have never seen something like this happen on IMAX screens. For those IMAX junkies out there, you're going to see exactly what it is that the directors and the directors of photography want you to see, which is what they've envisioned. Not to mention that the sound that you're going to experience in the IMAX auditorium has been customized specifically for this feature, so it's going to take the movie-going experience to the next level. It's going to be amazing.
And there's so much story to experience in this movie. I mean, you look back at the characters where we last saw them.
That's right. The Civil War, we had a whole bunch of turmoil, family drama.
Family drama,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, is Iron Man going to reunite with Captain America? What's that going to look like?
Or is you know, it's been teased in the trailer, but you see Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxies, and are they gonna get into it a little bit, or what's that gonna be like, that relationship?
Yeah, and you know, Thor Ragnarok, there was that kind of buddy comedy between Thor and the Hulk, and now from the trailers we're seeing the Hulk in Wakanda. Like, how does he end up there? I mean, there's just so many different unique pairings, and our favorite characters are coming together, and it's going to be something truly extraordinary.
Yeah, so we have this video that we want to share with you, which is the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige talking about, you know, the movies that have released over the years, and where the future of the Marvel universe is going to go. So let's kick it over to them and see what it's all about.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
I think if you were to look at the last 10 years as a book, Avengers 3 and Avengers 4 are the final chapters of that book. There's some endings, there's some new beginnings. I think it'll be a cathartic experience for the audience.
It's one single universe, and heroes can inhabit each other's worlds, which is why 10 years ago, Sam Jackson walked into Tony Stark's living room and said, you're part of a bigger universe, you just don't know it yet. And now here we are 10 years later, and everybody knows it.
We love the characters. We've got to work with a lot of the characters in the MCU in Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War, but now we're bringing even more characters into the narrative and into the story. One of the great values of these movies is like nobody's ever seen something quite like them in terms of what the ambition of the story is and the characters.
Thank you so much for tuning in with us this afternoon. We hope that we've properly prepared you for Infinity War. And thank you for also staying tuned with our social media coverage throughout the week. We're talking all things Infinity War, getting you ready for the movie.
And don't forget, tickets are still available, okay? So go to a theater if you haven't purchased tickets yet to go pick them up for Avengers Infinity War. You want to be a part of the Thursday night craze or the first weekend craze, so experience the fandom in all its glory. And if you buy tickets online on amctheaters.com or our mobile app, you'll automatically be entered to win free movie tickets for a year. Remember, this is an offer that has been plugged from show to show. Through April 30th, any tickets purchased on our mobile app or our website will enter you for a chance to win the free movie tickets for a year.
And there's only a few days left for that. But Sergio, the movie is getting ready to start.
Yep.
Let's watch Avengers Infinity War.
Let's do it. We're excited.